So, my computer took a massive dump on me last night, so that is why we are coming to you guys with this later video. And now, we need to talk about something that is very important. The shorts, they have caught themselves up, and we're going to go over exactly what I mean. This is represented in the Ortex data, which we are still seeing the short interest climbing. So, I think this is very important relative to where AMC currently sits, the short interest, and what is going on in the overall economy right now. So that is what we're going to talk about: the Ortex data, the technical analysis, the stock O tracker, as well as how people think about AMC accepting Dogecoin for payment. Now, let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into this video. And first thing that I want to point out for anybody that wants AMC to continue to climb, me personally, I wanted it to go down a little bit more so I could pick up some cheaper shares, ultimately have a bigger slice of the pie when we do go through this short squeeze. But I will take this either way. I have a fairly large position, so I am by no means complaining that AMC did not go down. But we are remaining above $40 per share. We are really flirting with this support level, but you're seeing a lot of buys overall going in at about $40. Whenever we dip under that in the $39.50 range, that instantly gets bought up. So that is definitely a very great sign to be watching for. Really just watch to see if we stay above $40 per share. Something I've talked about for a while now is as long as we stay above $40, really going from about $28.91 all the way up to, about $53 per share. As long as we stay above 40, this bullish rally is still on the table. This has actually not went away. Yes, it could look a lot better, but we're still well above where we were when we were flirting with these lows around, $28.91 back here August 5th. So it definitely could look worse. We are right at our 100-day moving average. We do have to cross above the 50-day moving average to really get back into this bullish trajectory, which is $43.48. Now let's take a look at the volume for the day. We're only seeing 41 million. So the fact that we actually only went down 0.25%, and technically speaking, we are up 0.70% in after hours. So we are seeing a positive day by about 0.5%. So all in all, great things from the technicals. It could look a lot worse. Keep that in mind. We could go through a bullish rally pretty much at any point. This could reverse itself. And why am I so bullish about where we do currently sit? And why do I say that essentially the shorts have screwed themselves? They have exposed their own hand, and this really comes down to what was going on in the overall markets, but the fact that the short interest is continuing to go through the roof. This is something that I've called out for the past couple weeks now, really, that I thought the short interest was going to go up, but really during this whole sell-off, I came to the conclusion that APES were not selling out of their shares based on the volume that we are seeing and the price action during that sell-off. I did estimate the short interest would go on the low end to about 20%, to the higher end about 22%, but would likely go to about 21%. And we are seeing the short interest climbing yet again today, now at its highest level we have ever been at, 20.11%. Now, why do I say shorts have exposed their hands? Now, they were doing a lot of shorting on AMC because AMC was an easy target. I think a lot of hedge funds and institutions realized once we did break through these critical levels on the SPY, which the first one was the 50-day moving average, the next one was the 100-day moving average. This is something we have not seen since November of 2020, or the beginning of November of 2020. I think a lot of hedge funds and institutions realize AMC, like I said, is an easy target to short the stock, really trying to, at the same time, as make money by shorting the stock, but ultimately cause fear in the apes by dropping it down so much so fast to get them to sell out of their shares. But that simply did not happen. We held our conviction, we held our confidence levels. Now that this data is being reflected, we are seeing this short interest going insane. And like I was saying, I don't think hedge funds and institutions thought we were going to see a big bounce back up like we are seeing now in the overall markets, with some of the fear around even the debt ceiling and the Evergrande situation starting to go away. So they have exposed their hands here. We are going to see a lot more people, potentially even news outlets, start to talk about this insane short interest of 20.11%. But like I said, I do think this is likely to continue to go up for for a couple reasons. Now, we are seeing the share utilization at 89.62%. This is also a very bullish thing. No, you're not looking at the potential for forced share recalls. You don't necessarily want that. If you want the short squeeze to happen tomorrow, sure, then you want that. If you want the short interest to continue to climb, you want the share utilization to come down so there's more available shares to be sold short. The short interest can't continue to climb if there's no shares that are available to be sold short. So we are seeing about 10% of the share utilization that is actually available to be sold short, and we are seeing that being reflected in the free float on loan at 22.34% of the float that is out on loan. Like I said, a 20.11% short interest, so that is about 2.2% higher for the free float on loan, which is obviously up about 2% over the past 7 days. So I do think you're likely to see about 1% of this free float on loan continue to be shorted into the open markets, bring our short interest to around 21%. But all in all, I think the hedge funds and institutions are getting really shooken up right now. If we do continue to see this rally in the overall markets, I think AMC is likely to rebound along with the overall markets. Now, we have had a lot of catalysts come out from AMC. AMC just announced yesterday that they're going to be accepting Dogecoin due to a poll on their Twitter where 77% of APES, about 4 million people voted on that, and they essentially said that they want AMC to start accepting Dogecoin. 77% said yes, 3% said no, they did not. So definitely a great sign right there, but people are talking about this is very positive, right? It says, as MarketWatch reported on September 16th, Aaron's initial announcements that AMC would start accepting cryptos was received with fervid excitement by Aaron's apes, but more than a few responded that Bitcoin and Ethereum were too valuable to be traded for Mike and Ike's candy or for a ticket to Free Guy, and they would be much more eager to use Dogecoin, a coin named after a dog meme and started as a satirical joke on the idea of cryptos. This is exactly what I said in the last video. This is going to be a bigger revenue driver than Bitcoin and Ethereum. I was basically saying, if you have all of these cryptos, which one are you going to spend? Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, or Dogecoin? Odds are 90% of people are going to spend the Dogecoin, and statistically speaking, lower income, bigger spenders own Dogecoin compared to Bitcoin and Ethereum, so they would be more likely to go out and do leisurely activities and actually spend their Dogecoin. So we are right on this. This is just confirmation to me that we are thinking along the same lines, and I do think this is really being underestimated by the marketplace itself. I think this could be a huge opportunity for AMC specifically, as well as just Dogecoin has become more accepted, more businesses using it. It could continue to grow in value. If AMC does hold on to it, there's obviously no idea what they're going to be doing with this cryptos, if they're cashing out on it immediately or if they are going to be essentially sitting on it or cashing out whenever they do want to. That could also be another source of additional revenue. So all in all, I think that is a great thing. We are directly in the same line as what other people are thinking with this announcement of Dogecoin. So definitely a great thing all in all right there. Now, let's briefly talk about the stock tracker data. I'm sure you guys have seen this information relayed to you guys already, but we are seeing about double the amount of puts that are in the money compared to calls. So the fact that we are still not cratering is a great thing, since when these puts do run into the money or even stay into the money getting closer to this expiration date, which is tomorrow, you see shorting going on from the market makers to hedge out these puts that are in the money. So obviously you're seeing more shorting going into the markets to hedge for the options rather than calls. Nothing significant for obviously out of the money calls or out of the money puts. You're not really going to see too much price action. I don't personally think, in my opinion, even if we move up 5-10% tomorrow in either direction, up or down, it's not going to cause a huge difference for how many calls or puts do run into the money. Now, let's talk about the potential debt ceiling, and this is the next big catalyst, which ultimately we all do know we need the market to come down to see that liquidity crunch for the hedge funds and institutions to cover on their shares. The longer this does take, the more fear in the markets. I think the higher likelihood you are to see the short interest continue to climb. But this says the fight over the debt ceiling has the potential to tank the U.S. economy. Here's what it means. Now, there's been analysts coming out and have essentially said the stock market would fall about 30%. If that happens, I would pretty much guarantee the short squeeze is going to start. These firms, these hedge funds, they would not be able to provide enough liquidity after seeing their portfolios go down 30 to 60%, depending how over leveraged they are, to stay in their short positions. But ultimately, this will probably not happen. It may just create fear for a while once we do get down to it, and it does say at some point in October. So we definitely still have, probably about 2.5 weeks before we're seeing peak fear over this situation, but something to keep your eyes on. Also, this Evergrande situation has not gone away. It says, page is moving around a lot, but it does say that both offshore bonds would default if the company, which has outstanding debt of $305 billion, fails to settle the interest within 30 days of the scheduled payment dates. So they actually did not pay the interest on the $83.5 million bond that was due today, as well as they do have a $47.5 million bond interest payment coming next week. So they're likely to miss on both of these payments, but they do have a 30-day grace period to make this up before they do officially default. If they do officially default, then that could be bad for the markets, but I think the markets are really just downplaying this whole China Evergrande situation for the moment. Things can change in the overall stock market, but that is really what you guys need to know for right now. I do expect the short interest to go up. I think shorts are probably shaking in their pants or shitting their pants because we did not sell out. We are remaining at this $40 price target where they have essentially showed their hand on how much shorting they have been doing on AMC, which is all in all a pretty easy target to short when the markets are going down. So that is what you guys need to know from this update. And if you guys got any helpful insight or good information, drop that like on the video. Consider subscribing to the channel. Check out the links linked down below in the description. We have 2 links for free stock to directly support the channel, link for public and the link for Webull. As well as that, we do have the link for the buy and sell alerts. We have been killing it over there. Just booked a trade today on TLT puts that booked us about 50% profit, as well as some Lucid Motors trades. Just yesterday we sold out of those at about $500 in profits, playing it relatively safe too, believe it or not. That would cover your costs for over 2 years time, so we keep it very inexpensive so anybody is able to financially join if they do want to grow their knowledge with trading and investing for the long term. We do it all over there: day trade, swing trades, long-term investments with stock, options, and crypto. Also, if you guys do want to support the GoFundMe and Madison's journey back to recovery after her horrible car accident, check out the link for the GoFundMe linked in the description. So that is going to be all for this video. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night, and I will see you in the next one.